Yes. All right, S6, we're ready to start whenever you are. If you'd like to go ahead and start.
Hello everyone. I want to welcome all of you guys to Tri-Campus meeting, all students, student leaders, clubs, organizations, and advisors. We are here for SGA open meeting today, and I want all of you guys to sign in the attendance sheet first. Okay, let's meet our SGA executive members now. Um, so I am Sandhya.
I am Megan.
Hi everyone, my name is Hannah.
And we have Jordan over here, and Karima will be here later on. Can the Cadence folk wants to introduce themselves?
Please unmute yourself.
Hey, Kate, you're muted.
Hey, could you guys please unmute? We cannot hear Catonsville.
What about now?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Hello, everyone. I'll go over my introduction again. My name is Lindsay Odiambo, and I've been a member of SGA for 3 semesters now. So this is my third semester in the SGA.
Hi everyone, my name is Laiba and this is my second semester with SGA.
Hi, my name is Mia Berard, and this is my second semester with SGA.
Hi everyone, I'm Salva and this is my first semester with SGA. Hi, my name is Jubilia and this is also my first semester in SGA.
And our Assistant Director of Student Engagement is Daniel Sim. He's over there on the side. Woohoo! We love Dan.
Thank you. So as student government, we take a role in a lot of things happening on campus. Essentially, we advocate for you all. If you have any questions or concerns, you've seen our faces, hopefully, and if you see us anywhere on campus, you can just plug us down and tell us, hey, I don't like this and I'd like to change. So really do appreciate all the feedback we get from like everyone, CCBC campus. We do work with, we're not only working with clubs and organizations. For anyone who is here that is not a part of any club, would love to hear any feedback that you have concerning like your experience in CCBC. So we essentially just serve as a governing body for all CCBC students. We also take part in promoting any kind of policies, programs that improve like overall student experience. And we do bring your feedback and concerns to administrative senior staff at CCBC. Thank you. So I wanted to make sure that you have some of the resources that we have at CCBC here. And these are just about two, but we have more. If you go to, if you follow any CCBC page on Instagram, Facebook, that be the official CCBC MD on Instagram, or like the student engagement. They do share all the resources that we have in CCBC, but these two are particularly the kind that I feel like everyone, regardless of whether you're part of a club or you're just, sorry, or you're just trying to fit in into a club, make sure you always take, just make sure you know about the tutoring center. It's free for everyone, and we have that QR code there. You can scan, make sure you know where and how to contact them, because they are good resources that we have on campus. And also we have the success navigators. These are good for any kind of, it's similar to the, not similar, it's different from the academic coaching and the tutoring thing. So they help with any kind of emergencies you have, that be housing information, any kind of federal, state benefit that you're not aware of. You can just step into their office and ask any kind of question that you have, and they can help you out with that. So we have those two QR codes right there. Please make sure you scan if you're interested in any of this. Or if this is your first time hearing about any of this, please make sure you take a note of that. I just want to make sure to keep it on your radar. Can I go to the next slide, please? Thank you. So these are one of the some of the reminders that as student governments they like to make sure that CCDC clubs, organizations are aware of. So if you're a new club on campus, you have to request for funding if you did to do that. Obviously, if you didn't start your club in spring last year, and you're starting it now, you can request for smaller funding amounts. But if you're already an established club, you've been on CCBC for a couple of years, a couple of semesters, you do know that, if you don't know this, but you should know that your budget is at 2,000, and you can do that. You can use your budget in different ways. You can do giveaways, T-shirts, bring over speakers for your clubs, and you can do like bus trips. So that's something that you have to go through CCBC engagement. And if you don't know how to do this, just let us know and we'll show you how to do that. And as far as like, we do encourage people to collaborate within clubs. That be with, if you know, for example, I've seen a lot of collaboration over the years here at CCBC. As a student myself, I was part of international club. We collaborated with psychology club, and we did like a New York trip. So if you guys want to save up on your budget, make sure you have friends within other clubs, because you can do collaborate and save a lot, especially if something that you're trying to achieve for your club members is going to end up spending all of the budget that you have. And if you don't know what your budget looks like as of now, for the clubs that have been existing as of like May 2024, you can talk to your advisor and make sure you know what amount that you have, so that if you're planning anything over the spring, you know how to situate your budget. And if maybe you want a quicker answer, stop by any student engagement office, be it at Dundas, Essex, Catonsville, and you can ask anyone there, the student engagement office, and they'll be able to help you know what your budget looks like and what your options are. Thank you. I'll pass it on to my colleague to talk about advocacy.
So on February 13th, SGA members met with Maryland senators and delegates in Annapolis to advocate against proposed reductions to the K funding formula and the Maryland College Promise Scholarship. The K funding formula was established in 1996 to support the students at community colleges without maintaining affordable tuitions. The formula involves the cost being divided into 1/3 of the state, 1/3 of the students, and 1/3 of the federal. It's important because the possibility of the kid funding formula and the NCPS cuts would drastically increase tuition and reduce the program availability at many community colleges, including CCBC. Next slide. So now we will talk about the project updates. So we are working on many projects. One of them is interfaith rooms. Our goal is to find a larger space for the interfaith room around many campuses, all the three campuses, and acquire a partition to create a flexible, respectful setting for separating men and women during prayers. Now Lindsay will tell us about ESOL.
Hi again. So SL is relatively new this semester. We are still trying to gather feedback from like faculty and staff to see how we can improve the overall ESOL community, the resources, the kind of resources that CCPC offers. So if you're interested in like this particular project, make sure to scan our QR code later after the meeting, and you can leave us any questions, concerns, but we'll have more update on this particular project during our next open meeting. Thank you. I'll pass it to my colleague here. Okay. It's not there, just make sure you say that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mia Farrar, and we were unable to prepare a slide for this segment I'm about to discuss just because we were only updated on it yesterday. Part of what student government does is we have student government representatives who serve as Senate in the College Senate. The College Senate basically works on policies relating to faculty, staff, and students. It consists of several boards that are divided up to handle different policies. One of these boards involves the College Forum. So recently, yesterday, the College Forum discussed how CCBC will be responding to the executive orders that have been recently passed by the president. And I just have typed up a short summary, not really short, of what was discussed yesterday. Our purpose as your student government is to advocate for you, the student, on matters that impact and relate to your mental and physical well-being as members of the CCBC community. The Student Government Association is not a political group. However, the current political environment threatens the quality of life for the students we represent. Therefore, we will continue to be the voice of our CCBC peers. We will continue to advocate for you, the student, on matters that impact and relate to your mental and physical well-being as members of the CCBC community. On February 21st, 2025, your Student Government Association Executive Board attended the college-wide forum. One of the main points of discussion in this forum was an update on CCBC's response to the current political landscape, which was hosted by General Counsel Tracy Ashby and the Director of Public Safety, Bernal Shahid-Lafron. This document is a summary of the college-wide forum matters that affect you, the student, and we hope that this document can reassure you of where this community college stands with the second largest student body and the third most diverse student body stands in this political landscape. The discussion on the update to CCBC's response to the current political landscape began with a mention of the Dear Colleague letter. On Friday, February 14th, the U.S. Department of Education issued a Dear Colleague letter stating that schools receiving federal funding must comply with Title IX of Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 following the Supreme Court's 2023 decision in Students for Fair Admissions versus Harvard. The ruling struck down race concessions, admissions policies, and reaffirmed that institutions cannot consider race in decision-making unless they meet strict legal standards. The Dear Colleague letter extends this interpretation beyond admission to include hiring, promotion, compensation, financial aid, scholarships, DEI preferences in these contexts also violate federal law. In short, the letter told universities and colleagues to, quote, scrub your website, conduct an audit of your programs, audit your federal dollars, all because you may not receive them or continue to receive them. If you use words like diversity and inclusion, then you, the college, will be flagged.
However, in the words of CCDC's president, Dr. Kurtinitis, we know who we serve, even if we can never say the words diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's not going to change what we do because of who we serve. Our policies, procedures, and approaches are not going to change very much because of who we serve. General Counsel Tracy Ashby then continued the conversation by clarifying that there have been 70+ executive orders in the span of 30 days. CCBC is focused on the ones that are directly impacting educational institutions. The top 3 points of discussion were gender identity, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Typically in the past, immigration. Typically in the past, immigration enforcement did not happen at educational institutions. Educational institutions were considered sanctuary spaces, like churches and libraries. However, this was rescinded with this administration, so that created the fear of ICE going onto campus. ICE stands for Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, if you are not aware. And it created this fear that ICE would go onto campus to try to enforce subpoenas and arrest warrants. The following statement was made by Tracy Ashby, the General Counsel for CCDC, in regards to what staff and faculty should do in response to ICE. One of the things that we want to make sure that everyone understands is that if there's an issue with ICE agents on campus, if you hear about them coming on campus, if you receive any documentation from ICE that we don't interfere, we don't hinder, we ask them to stay in public spaces, we ask them to stay in a public place, and if they come to the classroom, you contact public safety and the director of public safety will answer any questions with regard to that. You can always contact a public safety dispatch using the number that's available on the CCBC website ending in 1111. And the dispatch officer will contact Tracy Ashby's office so that they can, and the director of public safety, so that we can get to the scene and we can review documents and that we can determine whether or not you're presented with anything that is legally sufficient. She continued to explain that classrooms, student records, and student privacy are all protected by FERPA, and CCDC's legal department and public safety will be the ones to deal with these issues and ensure that the documents, such as warrants and subpoenas, are legitimate. If student records are legally required to be released, only CCBC's legal department can release these records. And the majority of the time, CCBC will notify the student that their records are being released. Rarely, the legal department will not notify students of the records being released. This only occurs when they are prohibited from informing the student. In regards to ICE being allowed in public areas, the legal team will review the idea of adding public and private signage on campuses. Regarding faculty working with ICE or threatening to share student information, it is a violation of their contract with CCDC and FERPA for faculty to release their students' private information, such as citizenship status. CCDC is looking into if they can legally provide red cards to students and other resources for undocumented students. I just realized I did not clarify a few things in here. So, to my understanding from the discussion, public and private spaces, I understand that classrooms are considered private spaces. I'm not sure what exactly is considered a public space on campus, but basically ICE cannot enter your classroom unless they have a judicial warrant to enter that classroom, which CCBC's legal team will verify your professor, faculty, staff, whatever is not the person who should be letting an ICE agent into the classroom. It needs to be CCBC's legal department or public safety approving that. And red cards have become pretty popular, but if you do not know what they are these small wallet-sized cards. On one side of the card, it can be printed in any language, but basically tells you your constitutional rights, whether you're documented or undocumented. And on the other side, it's the idea that you hand this red card to an ICE agent, and on the other side it states, again, your constitutional rights, but it says it in more of a, I will comply with my Fifth Amendment right to not speak, and I want my lawyer, yada, yada, yada. but we're trying to see if we can get students to access to these cards easily. No, we need the school to verify their legality so that they can be put in everywhere in CCBC. But it's just the legal team doesn't know if it's legal or not. And when I brought that question up, I said it should be legal because it's just your constitutional rights unless the Constitution changes anytime soon. And Tracy said, well, we don't know with this administration if the Constitution will change anytime soon. So yeah. No, they are actually free online, unless.
So Mia, can you repeat the question?
Yes, oh, I'm so sorry. So I was asked if the red cards need to be donated, if that's what's holding back CCBC, if it's a financial issue. But, would you like to say?
No, I was just stating that I work hand in hand with a company that does.
Oh, can
it's
you-
a very large manufacturer.
Let's get you a mic, because I think the people at Essex might be interested in hearing what you have to say.
I work hand in hand with one of the, well, not work hand in hand, but they are a business partner of mine. And they are one of the largest business manufacturing, like a printing press. That's here in Owings Mills, and I know that they're willing to donate because they have donated to a couple of immigration law firms that my family are paralegals with immigration law firms that needed cards like that recently, and they've donated a couple for the law firms and for like Esperanza Group and other places. So that's why I was stating if they needed to be donated, I could ask if they have some to donate for the school, if the school needed them at some point.
I appreciate that a lot. And I will have one of my colleagues take your information and then we'll pass that along to Dan, our advisor, to see what we can do. It's like a very weird situation for us to be put in because generally what student government does is solely focused on things that relate to you as a student between us and administration. Just so happens that this new presidential administration is really influencing our school experience. All right, the second part of
Mia,
the
before you do that,
discussion was gender identity in relation to an executive order that states
Yeah.
that there are only two genders, male and female. In addition, executive orders in relation to Title IX have been issued that state that there is no protection for gender identity under Title IX. In addition to that, there's a recent executive order that bans transgender youth from participating in certain athletic activities. And there's also some denial of healthcare coverage for transgender youth who are younger than the age of 19. However, Maryland law specifically addresses gender identity and sexual orientation, and so does the Baltimore County Code. Title VII also provides protection from discrimination based on sex. The Supreme Court has already said that this encompasses sexual orientation and gender identity. Even though federally they're now saying that gender identity and sexual orientation isn't covered, the college has to operate to be legally compliant with Maryland law and Baltimore County Code, as well as CCBC policy, which focuses on equality regardless of background or identity. Courses and programs. Questions were raised by the audience in regard to how prayer areas, gender-neutral bathrooms, courses and programs might be changed because of these executive orders. The response, CCBC cannot be too hasty to comply. The college will continue to comply legally. However, if there is a legal workaround where the school does not have to directly change the diversity and inclusion that makes the CCBC community what it is, then they won't. We don't want to jump out of the gate before we're ready, but we also want to make sure we're protecting the college. This was stated by Tracy. The final point of discussion was related to funding being cut if universities and colleagues are not compliant with the executive orders related to DEI. The summary of the school's response to this is that, again, until legally required, no changes would be enforced. An audit will be conducted as a preventative measure, but CCBC will continue to protect the CCBC community. There was not enough affirmative information provided for student government to make an appropriate statement on this matter specifically. This is going to be an evolving issue. However, the president has shown herself to be transparent over the years here, and we do not expect that transparency to change anytime soon.
As far as legal advocacy goes, CCDC is a public college. It cannot present any direct advocacy. Generally, the states are filing lawsuits through the offices of the Attorney General for each state. Maryland has filed several lawsuits and has even been granted several injunctions as a result of the lawsuits that are filed. The general counsel for the various Maryland institutions appears that all colleges are on the same page. In addition to that, and this is another quote from Tracy, I don't know yet if there's something where we might join a lawsuit. You know, as an institution of higher education, I'm not sure what that would look like, but it doesn't mean we wouldn't. I don't know just yet, and I would like to add that the presidents are all of us are both confused and determined to make sense out of what we are facing. But I don't know how you are feeling, but I'll tell you, I feel a lot like the way I felt when COVID began. In the end, we gathered ourselves together and we figured out a way to how to deal with it. And that's the sense of confidence that I have about it. The direction given from senior leadership is to do what CCDC does, that we ensure that our students have a safe space for school, that our faculty and staff are safe, and that we provide clear information and guidance. And that's the directive that I've been given from a legal perspective. As we move out and analyze a lot of the changes, because it's extremely fluid and it's concerning as an attorney that someone could just sign something with a pen and be put into law. That is all I have for you from the College Forum, but if anybody would like to ask me questions, do I have time to do questions? Or
Yeah, I think if people have questions, this would be a good time.
you can ask the
Well, we
questions after
recognize
the
you
icebreaker.
might not know the answers.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mia. We're going to pass it out to people in Essex. We do have a couple more projects that need to be updated. Thank you.
Can Catonsville hear us?
Yes, we can. We're just waiting on you. Thank you.
I just wanted to see if anyone had questions, either here at Essex or online or at Catonsville, about all these policy things, while we're fully recognizing that we and many other people don't have all the answers. But the college is here to support you, because it's a whole lot and a whole lot to take in. So I do want to open the floor, just if there are some quick questions about that before we turn it back over to the exec board here. And if you're online, feel free to unmute or put a question in the chat if you do have it. If you're here at Essex, we're here. If you're at Catonsville, we just ask you speak into a microphone so everyone can hear, whether you're here at Essex or at Catonsville or online.
Hey, Dan, we can't hear you. I'm so sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So are there any questions? And it's okay, because it's a lot to take in. So I think as people are taking that in, I know the SGA except board has a little icebreaker.
We have a question at Catonsville.
Hello. I am Richard. I'm a CCBC student. And I wanted to bring up some at Towson University and University of and UMBC, there have been instances of ICE being tabling at their career fairs, and there was a successful pressure campaign to get ICE out of the career fair at UMBC. There's an ongoing campaign to get them out of it at Towson. They actually registered for it under the Department of Homeland Security instead of under ICE to try and avoid avoid that same kind of pressure campaign. But students saw through that. So I would like to see a commitment to also not have the Department of Homeland Security or any of its subsidiaries invited to CCBC events. And I would also encourage SGA to be vigilant about holding about holding the college to account on these issues as well. SGAs have a lot more soft power than people tend to realize, and it's in times such as this, there is a duty to exercise upon that. And there's other large issues that aren't really talked about going on that are affecting the campus. For example, a whole bunch of the furniture, the chairs in the library and a whole other furniture on campus that's made from prison labor, from people working in prisons paying paid pennies on the dollar. All the waste that's produced at CCBC gets sent over to the incinerator in Baltimore, and one of the communities with the highest rates of asthma and lung cancer in the entire country. So the things that happen at CCBC have an impact on the world around us, and I would encourage the saying that not wanting to take a political side. I feel everything is political these days, and everything always was political. And so I would encourage taking an active role on these to stand up for the campus, to stand up for the students in the community, and also people outside of the community that are impacted by these decisions. And I could go on. I would encourage, if anyone is looking to get involved in these kinds of things, I would encourage people to find me and talk to me. I'm just looking to also start a student organization on campus, YDSA chapter, to help organizing around these issues. But I would love to do that with the cooperation of SGA.
What's YDSA?
Oh, yeah, YDSA, it's the Young Democratic Socialists of America. It's a national organization that has chapters at various universities. We're having an interest meeting, a virtual interest meeting on Monday at 1 p.m. on Zoom. You can find a link to it at CCBC YDSA on Instagram. There's going to be a link there. But definitely, I would, the efforts at to get ICE off of campus to declare Towson University and a sanctuary campus in 2016 was initiated by the SGA at Towson University. So SGA is free to push as hard as they feel comfortable doing so on these issues. So I would encourage them to act. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're gonna chat with you afterwards because I've been told we're running short on time, but you did have a lot of great points that I'm glad you brought up.
Thank you for the question and the broader explanation. Back to the project updates. I think
We have a
it's
question at ethics.
by Meg.
We have a question at the moment from Essex, so we will give it to the student.
We cannot hear you.
Let's say the suggestions. The suggestions?
Hey guys.
Can you hear us? Hello?
Yeah, you gotta speak really close to the mic, like breathe very hot breath on top of the mic.
So, is this good?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So I stand in here. So I have a few suggestions for the campus, for students and everyone else. The first one is actually when I was I was trying to meet with my prior professors, but I had such a difficulty finding their office hours, their information, So I had to like go through like so much hassle to email them and look through all the papers to find the syllabus. So I was suggesting that to make a web page that has every professor office hours, and because they do change it sometimes and it's not reflected on the syllabus. So that's my first suggestion. My second suggestion is it's actually it has to do with Sodexo, the food. We don't have a lot of vegan, vegetarian options, and there's people that need those for religious, cultural, and dietary reasons. So CCBC being one of the most diverse um, colleges in terms of population, I think we should have more diverse food selection. And my final and most important suggestion is it's actually I had a bad experience with the registrar's office, and I wasn't treated like respectfully like I should have been, and that's really important that the employees here give every student the respect they should and treat them the way they should be treated. When I first came in here, actually the first day, I was talking to an advisor, and after talking to her, I was like, "Do I really want to be here?" I was questioning everything. A week later, I went to a different advisor, and she changed my like whole perspective and actually inspired me. So that goes to tell you that it's really important how you're being treated. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your feedback and we will look into some solutions. Now to move back to our projects, if we could have that slide up, please. One of the projects we are working on, inclusion with the ESOL, Interfaith Room, Shuttles, and Sodexo, is the student medical leave. We are trying to extend the incomplete I grade, um, which will allow students who are having a medical flare-up or medical issue arise to have extended time working on their projects and finishing out the course. That way they get a grade that shows their effort and their hard work. And then we'd like to simplify the medical leave process for students. That way it's not as much of a struggle to actually get the grade that they deserve. And now on to Sodexo.
Hi guys, my name is Karima. I'm going to be presenting the Sodexo project. This is one of the last projects that we are working with for SGA this semester. Um, Currently, this semester we already have halal chicken in progress for Dundalk, Essex, and Catonsville. So that will hopefully be done by the end of this semester, along with like kiosks for Essex and Catonsville. They're already in progress, but we are working on ordering a new one for Dundalk. So that one will take a bit more time. But for Essex and Catonsville, we do have hopefully by the middle of the semester. Lastly would be the iPads full with nutritional facts. Hopefully we have that also running by the end of the semester. And then to be determined would also be the Sodexo apps. They previously had that back in like 2015, not for CCBC, but we do want to have that running again for CCBC, just for easy serving and like ordering while in class so that you're not missing time within class just because you want to eat. And then now we can jump in for the icebreaker. You have shuttle? Oh, sorry guys.
Okay. So we worked on the SOTL last semester. We created some surveys and get some data, and we have our hours extended for Dundalk to Essex from 7:30 to 5, and Essex to Cadensville from 8 to 5 now. And we are still working for the extension for the evening classes. Just at least one shuttle that goes from Essex to Cadensville and Cadensville to Essex. We are still working on it. We still need your feedback. Yeah.
SGA does is they really do a lot behind the scenes to work with the administration to give your feedback to the administration. So I really appreciate you, my friend, sharing this concern you had. And they're doing a lot with meeting with the college president, meeting with college administration to address these concerns. So although they're having these big open meetings once a month, they are having these meetings on a weekly or biweekly meeting basis with Sodexo to share your feedback. They're meeting with the college president to share your feedback. They're meeting with the college senate to share their feedback. So these are the important things that they're doing behind the scenes to really help improve the student experience. So one of the biggest things we ask for you all as students is to share that feedback with SGA so they can be your voice towards these other aspects of the college. So we do want to give time for that. I know we have an icebreaker we're going to do. We have some food at Catonsville and Essex, and that's cool. But I didn't want to jump by that without making sure people in this room, people at Catonsville, and people online know that there is that opportunity and that they are doing a whole lot to get your feedback. So I'll turn it back to them. I don't know if people have feedback for some of the projects they're working on with SGA or want to give them new things that you think need to be adjusted at the college or feedback about things that are happening right now, good or bad, so they can share that feedback. But I do want to at least give voice to that. So I'll hand the mic back to them. And if someone has thoughts or concerns on feedback, this is a good time, or else we can move into doing something else fun they got planned for y'all.
Did everyone speak with the projects? Now icebreaker. Oh my god. Now we're gonna move on to the icebreaker. We do have some wooden hearts that for the Essex campus, Jordan will be passing them out along with Hannah. You're gonna pass that out. That's it. Okay, 1 second. Go. I'm done.
Oh, you're done? Okay, so along with the icebreakers, which you probably, or do they know what it is? Okay, we're painting wooden hearts, right? Oh, we're drawing on wooden hearts. Yay! But alongside with that, I don't know what Catonsville's done with their Valentine's Day cards, but we're having a little late Valentine's Day celebration here at Essex and in Catonsville. So for Essex, I'm going to be passing out Valentine's Day cards. And for Catonsville, you might have already gotten it when you walked in. But if not, then Mia and Lindsay.
Yes, hello.
For the virtual students, Dan Sim will also be putting in a link in the chat. If you guys want to join virtually, it'll be in the chat. Yeah, and then also if they have any questions, they can also ask us along the way. Otherwise, enjoy and have fun, guys. Happy V-Day.
Thank you so much.
Could you give us a quick summary of what I think Hannah was talking about? It was really low for people like Catonsville. Thank you.
Could you repeat what you just said, Lindsay?
Oh, I want you guys to repeat what Hannah was explaining earlier, because I think the people at Catonsville, we didn't get that, whatever she was saying quite correctly. She sounded really low. Could you mind talking again about what the Valentine?
Yes, he's coming right back up to re-explain what she's saying.
What was I saying? Bro, you can put me like that again. Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hannah.
Okay. Did you hear anything I said or just nothing? Or anything or a little bit or what?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, probably for the better because I was not prepared. But so I was just saying for our little icebreaker, we are drawing on wooden hearts and there is a link for the virtual people online to be able to do so as well. Obviously, it's not online for wooden, but it's not wooden online, but it's still a heart you could draw on. So But then also here at Essex, we are passing out Valentine's Day cards to everyone to let them know that we appreciate everyone and their efforts and their attendance here at CCBC. They are loved and they are cared for. And for Catonsville, maybe y'all picked them up on the way into the meeting, but if not, then Lindsay and Mia have them to pass out to you too. So we really hope you enjoyed this time, get to know each other, talk to people, yada yada. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Raymond, you're up next. While we are working on the icebreaker and chatting around with each other, I'd like to suggest something. Could we have the sign-up sheet up in case anyone walked in and saw a couple of people walking in at Catonsville and would like to make sure all of you are signed up, and please let us know what organization, clubs you are representing today. Thank you.
Also, I would like everyone, oh wait, hold this. Thank you. Okay. I would love it if everybody could take the time to fill out our student government survey. Any comments you have today, any questions you've asked, go ahead and re-enter them into that survey. We take the data from that survey and we're able to say, oh, we had 130 students and 86% of them said that they feel like CCBC is not informative enough about the resources offered. We're able to take that data and actually use it to prove that this is what the students want. So it's very important if you have any comments, concerns, questions, you fill out that survey and have your friends, your classmates, your peers fill that all out as well. Thank you. Yeah. You know what that works on adults is crazy.
I see people are leaving at Catonsville. Please make sure you signed up and indicated what clubs or organizations that you are representing today. And thank you for joining us. For you guys who are sticking around, please make sure when you're done with your the markers, make sure you give it to my colleague at, standing right by at the corner next to the food area. Thank you.
Guys, we would love if you share your heart pictures with us.
Can you say that on the mic?
Just tag the CCBC SGA Instagram so we can repost it.
Make sure it's on. Make sure it's on.
Hi guys, it's on. Hi guys, please share your pictures on the Instagram with tagging CCBC SGA so we can repost your hearts if you guys would like for that to happen. Thank you.
I think the last slide that says thank you, that's the wrong QR code. That's for our general survey. But if you could have like the question slide where we have the attendance sheet QR code on there, I really appreciate that, Mr. Dan. Thank you.
Say that again.
I realized I was muted the whole time. So guys, please before you leave, once again, I am pleading to you guys, please make sure you sign in indicating whether you are here representing a club, any organizations, please indicate there. Please and thank you. We really love to see the representation that CCBC comes across during our open meetings. Please and thank you.
No.
Yes.
Hi guys. Feel free to stay if you'd like, but the meeting is officially over. If you want to stay and finish your wooden hearts, please do so. But if there's any questions or concerns, please ask us now or leave it in the chat. Hope you all have a good day. Huh? Thank you.
musings, wines,
Hi.
beers.
Hi, Dan. We're all here.
Give me 5 minutes.
Can you hear us?
Wait, can you not? Hold on, look.
Hello, can you hear us? Dan?